The information in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Consult your healthcare provider for proper care regarding your specific situation.
Okay, welcome to episode 16.
16 already.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. I was trying to track down to see
16.
what Sweet 16. Let me think about that. But I was trying to track down like what number we're on. I was like, oh, that's already 16. So
it's crazy. It's fun though.
this one's gonna be a fun one. So I feel like the childproofing one was just a little bit kind of like, okay, realistic, down to earth. Mm-hmm. I feel like this one's gonna be fun. So this one's gonna be old wives' tales and myths. Some of them are out there, and some of them we hear all the time. Mm-hmm. So
let's do jokes first.
Let's do a joke.
You go first.
I don't have the joke. You have the joke.
Oh, I have the only joke. Okay.
The only joke.
What is the sea monster's favorite meal?
I don't know.
Fish and chips.
That's adorable, and I love it. Adorable, and I love it.
Fish and chips.
So cute.
Okay, so I do have a couple of names this week. I feel like we kind of fizzled out on the names because I think we have just kind of, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. But these kind of tie in with what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
In a weird way.
Okay, I'm here for it.
So you'll see. Okay. First one.
Oceanus.
Oceanus. Again with the fish and chips, y'all.
Oceanus?
I mean, I guess.
All I could see when you showed me that, I got the Oceanus, but then anus.
Oceanus. I don't want to.
I don't want to see the anus.
Okay, here's the next one.
Peregrine. I like this one.
Peregrine.
I like this one. I know someone who has a kid named Peregrine.
For real?
I do.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
She works in our hospital.
What? Really?
I think she's on CV, but...
Okay. Well, do you know what peregrine means?
Means? No, I know that it's a falcon.
It means pilgrim.
Oh.
Yeah, so those peregrine falcons are pilgrim falcons.
I like it.
I did not know that was what it meant either.
I didn't
because all
either,
I thought
obviously.
it was a peregrine falcon.
Yeah.
But then let me read you something.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Okay. So we're going way back,
Story
y'all.
time.
When the Mayflower left Plymouth, England in 1620 on the historic voyage to the New World.
Across the Oceanus.
Three of the 102 passengers were pregnant. How crazy does that sound?
Sounds miserable.
And knowing that you're pregnant. Well, there were two women who were in their 7th month of pregnancy, Elizabeth Hopkins and Susanna White. And then there was Mary Norris Allerton, who was in her 2nd or 3rd month of pregnancy. If I'm boring, y'all just hang in.
But wait, there's more.
So, there was lots of turmoil, bad storms for the majority of the time that they were at sea. So while the ship was still at sea, one of the women, who was 7 months pregnant when they left, Elizabeth Hopkins, she gave birth to a baby boy, which she named Oceanus. After the birthplace, because he was born, at the ocean. And then 2 weeks later, when they had docked, the Mayflower was anchored off of Cape Cod, and Susanna White gave birth to a baby boy, and she named him Peregrine.
Oh, okay.
Because they were pilgrims. So see, it all ties in.
It does tie in.
And then in the spring of 1621, the third mama, Mary Norris Allerton, she died during childbirth, and the baby was stillborn. Sad situation. So this was, 17th century and into the 18th century. Between 1 and 1.5% of all births ended in the mother's death as a result of dehydration, infection, hemorrhages, and convulsions. My goodness, how things have changed. Thank the Lord. So all that to say, given the high-risk birth complications and infant death, there were so many superstitions that developed out of, all of these bad outcomes. So some of the superstitions, a few of them from that time, hard to believe we still have superstitions to this day. So it says, if a mother looked upon a horrible specter or was startled by a loud noise, that her child would be disfigured. If a hare jumped in front of her, her child was in danger of suffering from a hare lip, which is a cleft lip.
Yep.
If she looked at the moon during pregnancy, then her child might become a lunatic or a sleepwalker. Isn't that funny? Like, I can imagine never
Just
looking at the moon.
I know.
Never looking at the moon.
Or just anything.
Anything that might scare you. A rabbit?
What if you don't see the rabbit jumping in front of you?
Right.
But yes.
It says ungratified longings could cause an abortion or leave a mark imprinted on her child's body. So I guess just any birthmark.
I was going to say, I read a couple things about the birthmarks. Okay, there was one I just told Delana that was, I saw it was like from the Romanian cultures. It was, if you're not craving salty or savory snacks or food in your pregnancy, then you're going to have a vampire. I was like, what correlation do these people come up with where they're like, you crave sweets, it's going to want blood later. Like, it just cracks me up. Like, I get that they don't have like the medical care, so they relied on these superstitions, and some things may have been, I don't know, somewhat true then, but at the same time, you're like, oh, wow. So I don't have a joke, or I just have a weird story. So one of my patients a long time ago, they were young and from a different culture. And again, a lot of these are culturally based too, just depending.
Yes.
They didn't want me to trim sometimes when babies come to us, their umbilical cords are either normal, like short or whatever, or they're like massive jump ropes. And so I like to trim the massive jump ropes so it's not flailing everywhere when you're trying to hold your baby. This particular father did not want me to trim his baby's umbilical cord because he thought the length of the umbilical cord was correlation to this child's manhood.
Oh, I thought you were going to say lifespan or something. That's where I was going with this.
It was the manhood, the genitals. And I was like, no.
Two separate things.
That's 100% two. But I think it was one of those times where I couldn't control my face, and I think my face was something like horrendous. Like, that's not true. Like, that's definitely genetic. So,
girls have these cords as well.
Yes. So, that's why I'm like, I don't get it. Like, who even told you this, or how did you think it up? Were you just trying to say something to throw me off guard?
Right.
I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, another one that was this week we were talking about was a family member had asked me if, since she was on her menstrual cycle, was she allowed to hold the baby? And I said, yes. So then we started looking it up, but I think either in the wives' tales or culturally, if you were holding a baby during your menstrual cycle, then it's unlucky for you, or unlucky for the baby. Either one. I think it's unlucky for the baby. So it's like, okay.
Sometimes when women are on their periods, it is unlucky for everyone around them.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, well, yeah.
Oh
we get in our feels those times, but.
Oh, my.
Okay. So some of these are funny, and some of these are just interesting. And they're not all true. But so I'm going to start with the pregnancy and gender predictions ones, because you see these at every gender reveal event.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, and I think Pampers even had it on their website that was like the old wives' tales, boy or girl. But a lot of it's not that way. Sorry to burst your bubble. A lot of it's just either genetics or one of them is like carrying high. If you're carrying high, means you're going to have a girl. If you're carrying low, means you're going to have a boy. Or if it's like spread out boy or versus, whatever the role was. And really, that's just usually where your placenta is attached.
Right,
it's like
right.
Uterus. Like they don't all position in one spot. Like, okay, go here. Like there's not.
And they should all be higher until the end of the pregnancy.
Yes. We don't want them down there the whole time. But yes, like your placenta can attach to your uterine lining at any given spot. Like it's not just in one particular section. So, okay, this is interesting because I did look this up. The heartburn in the hair.
I believe it.
If you have significant heartburn, then it's going to yield, your baby's going to have a lot of hair. And every time I hear that, I'm just like, okay, yeah, you get you had a lot of hair.
Yeah, but it's a real thing.
But it is a real thing, and I was looking it up because hormone related, if you're having a lot of like progesterone secretion, estrogens, like those can relax those muscles in your throat that control the reflux.
Yes.
And then if you have a lot of that may also yield fetal hair growth. So that one was interesting to me because I was like, okay, maybe I should not be so cynical all the time. But,
and I've always believed that just based on my patients saying, I thought she'd have a lot of hair because, I had a lot of heartburn. But then I would not hear that from, the little bald head baby mamas.
That's true. I haven't even tried to put them together like that.
Which I had nothing really to compare it to because both my babies were born looking like they had wigs on. And I did have a lot of heartburn.
Well, I always kind of thought that too. I'm like, how would you not? You have like a whole human like shoved up in your insides.
Yeah,
like,
it's
how could
pushing
it not everything upwards? Like it makes perfect sense, but
the hormones.
But the hormones and the fetal hair growth, it does, which was wild to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yep.
And then they say a lot of morning sickness means you're having a girl, but I don't think I saw anything scientifically to substantiate that.
Morning sickness is morning sickness.
Exactly.
One of our poor coworkers, like, she is trying to work her little self so hard. Now she's finally through it, but her first trimester, morning sickness, it was bad. Like, sister had to carry crackers around everywhere. I'd be like, oh, yep, she's sitting there. I see a cracker trail. And she would disappear for a while, and we're like, you okay? Yeah, you okay? Spoiler alert, it's a boy, not a girl. So...
Yep.
Cravings for sweets is supposed to be a girl, and salty savory is a boy. What did you crave?
Well, okay. Again, I have 2 girls. With my first one, all I wanted was orange juice, all the time. All the time. I drank so much orange juice. Yeah. So that one.
I think really
fits.
You wanted a mimosa.
Probably.
Okay, so that would fit.
Number 2, jalapenos and hot sauce, which doesn't really fit either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
And
interesting.
she's definitely a girl.
Definitely a girl.
She's not a super girly girl. I do have to say that. But she's a girl.
You never know. So I know my mom, when she was pregnant with me, wanted no meat. She wanted only vegetables, not even sweets, just no meat, only vegetables. So I'm like, she's like, just the thought or sight of meat would make me sick. And that happened with my sister-in-law. One of her girls, she wanted no chicken. Just even thinking of chicken make her throw up. Like, nope, not happening. So it's just wild.
It is.
Heart rate above 140 is a girl.
Yep, that's
And
what I've heard.
Anything below that is a boy. I don't know the
That's
truth
what
to
I
that
had.
one. I really didn't look that one up.
I
don't think it's-
did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you might have.
Yes. It's just a matter of where it's at. Let me find. Okay, here
Heart
we
rate.
go.
There we go.
Hey,
Heart rate,
hey.
second page.
Hey, right there in front of me. Okay, so it says, and this is crazy, as recently as 1993, studies proved that this method could predict the sex accurately. Womp, womp, womp. Later studies disagree,
Oh.
sending this one to the myths category.
See, in that one, I wasn't 100% sure because it's like, okay, I guess hormones can play a significant factor in that as well. Well, I don't know.
And then it said, of course, you were supposed to wait until after the first trimester.
Yeah.
Many boys will have a higher heart rate early on. But no,
Womp, womp, womp.
not true. Not true.
Sad face. Okay, this one I get hormonally too, but I've heard this a lot. If you're having a girl, it basically saps the beauty from the mother. That's how I've heard this
Yes.
portray or spoke.
All
Anyway.
the acne, all the pimples.
So then they get like the dull hair, the dull coarse hair, the terrible skin, the dry skin, the acne, the blemishes. But if you're having a boy, then you're glowing. Your hair is luscious and full, and you've got glowing skin.
They don't want your beauty.
They don't want your beauty. They just want their umbilical cord, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think if you're having the problem with the dull skin hair, maybe you need to take some more vitamins.
I know. That's what I'm
Maybe
wondering.
it's a nutrition
Well, that's what I'm
thing.
wondering about too. Like, would it be progesterone and estrogen again wreaking havoc on your entire body? Like,
Right. Right.
sleeping position. What was it? Right side it's a girl, left side it's a boy. What you say?
I say false. My left side is always my preferred side of sleep. Two girls.
Girls. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I sleep like a washing machine, so
Which, I
it
mean,
goes like this the entire night.
it's always been that way. I don't feel like that changed with pregnancy.
No.
That's just who you are.
I was thinking
Your
that
position
too.
you like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It also depends on what side of the bed. And if you're just pregnant and annoyed with everyone, do you want to look at your significant other all night? Probably not.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so
Fun one.
let's see. Cold feet means you're carrying a boy. I've had cold feet my whole life.
I know. I don't know the rationale on this one. Again, it's one of those.
That's one actually I haven't never heard that
Yeah.
one. I don't know.
This one I've heard. Mother's demeanor. If you're calm and content, you're having a boy. But if you're moody and irritable, then you're having a girl.
Man,
Again, I still think it's those. I know all the girls.
these girls.
These girls.
They turn us into vultures while we're pregnant, apparently.
Again, maybe it's that lovely progesterone, estrogen. Yay.
Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so
And-
this one says stepping over ropes.
Stepping over ropes can
Okay.
cause the umbilical cord to wrap around the baby's neck.
Well, the one I've heard is putting your hands over your head.
What if you do both?
All
Does it counteract
false.
each other?
Right.
If you are stepping over the rope with your hands over your head, does it counteract itself?
Right.
Do two negatives
think.
make a neutral in this situation?
That's what our English teachers always told
Yeah.
us, right?
Okay, this one's funny.
What?
Looking at ugly animals can cause the baby to resemble them.
Wow. I guess it's kind of like looking at the moon. You have a
Yeah,
lunatic.
lunatic.
Ugly animals.
Looking at ugly animals can cause the baby to resemble them. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just have cute animals.
So I was like, what? I mean, what's so significantly ugly that your baby's going to come out looking like it? I don't understand that. I'm going to have to look this one up deeper because I'm like, who thought of this?
Right. Who did? That's crazy.
Where's Andrea? This one's for Andrea.
What is it? Cutting or dyeing hair. Oh, can cause vision issues or birth defects. Okay.
I get maybe like some a little toxicity from like some sort of ammonia, but it shouldn't reach the baby.
Right. And cutting hair?
And cutting hair?
What do? You do this when you're cutting with scissors.
What was that?
Well, I guess you're just putting your fingers in the little handles. You're not actually doing this with your finger.
Is it getting your hair cut?
Oh, is that what it means? It doesn't mean cutting.
Like being the physical person doing it or being the person getting it done?
That would probably make more sense.
All right, old wives, we have questions.
That's right. Old wives, step up.
Drop your rationale in the comments, please.
Oh my gosh.
All right. If y'all have any fun ones, leave us some comments, some love. Let us know what you've heard, what's true, whatever. But these are more. You got any more for the gender predictions?
No, I don't know.
The next on my list was pregnancy. The next on my list was like delivery and breastfeeding.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't think I have anything. Everything. Oh well. Oh yeah, I do. Dun, dun, dun.
These are so funny to me.
Soft or dry hands? Okay, let me guess. If you have dry hands, it's going to be a girl.
It's going to be a girl.
Oh, no.
Oh, is it opposite? Soft hands, on the other hand, are mythically linked with girls.
Oh.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Okay, and then there we are again with food cravings.
Okay.
Yeah,
we talked about that one.
Let's see. Oh, acne, yes. Oh, gracefulness versus clumsiness. I feel like that's just who you are. I don't think that has anything to do with your pregnancy.
That'd be funny. Not funny, but what if they come into our OBED in our OB emergency room and they're like, I fell, so we have to monitor them. We're like, it must be a boy.
It's a boy. Yep. If you're gliding through the day, rumor has it you're having a girl.
Gliding through the day as a girl. I guess you gotta be dainty.
Yes.
Nope, I run into stuff all the time. Stumbling around? It just might be a boy, says this myth. I like the way they worded this.
Oh no. Facial weight gain. If your face gets fuller during pregnancy, again, a girl.
Is it a girl?
It's a girl. Oh my. Okay.
They're funny.
And I feel like who doesn't have facial weight
gain
during their pregnancy? I mean, if you're gaining weight, everything's going to get a little bit fuller.
I guess people having boys.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And there again.
Mood changes.
Moody, gripey. You're having a girl.
Fussy, yep. Bump position.
Weight distribution.
Ooh, bump shape.
Yes.
Weight distribution.
So if you're carrying your baby in the front, expect a boy, while the weight spaced more evenly around the middle could indicate a girl.
But wait, there's more.
Oddly, science has found a connection between gestational weight gain and fetal sex. For example, a 2014 study published analyzed 68 million births over 23 years. This really warranted that much
I guess so.
research?
I guess so.
Can't we focus on more important things?
No.
So this study found that those who gained more weight were statistically more likely to give birth to a boy.
Okay, wait. It's not talking about the weight. I guess it says weight distribution. It doesn't really say weight gain. It was just talking about where the baby was.
Right. And then we changed here.
Okay.
Just if you gain more weight.
Boy.
I mean, oh, here we go again with the heart rate. Let's see. Research indicates that normal fetal heart rate can be anywhere from 120 to 160, and that's with every baby.
Yep.
Old wives' tales. If you dream you're having a girl while pregnant, you you might wind up having a boy.
Might.
Wow, that was groundbreaking.
I saw something about that too. If you dream of a girl, you're having a boy. If you dream of a boy, you're having a girl.
Pendulum test. Have you heard of that one?
I have, and I just don't understand the rationale for what it's telling. So,
I don't either, but I have a fun story.
Okay. I'm ready.
When me and my best friend growing up, we were probably middle school, and we'd heard this somewhere. And so we're chilling in my bedroom one day. We decided we're going to do this, and we're middle school, y'all.
The pendulum test for your pregnancy sex, or the
Pendulum
fetal
test for what we would have in the future, right?
Okay.
The freaking thing told me I was going to have 2 girls.
It's true. Then statistically,
Oh my gosh.
it's true.
Y'all, I did the research
You did in middle school.
in middle school when I was probably like 15 years before I even had a baby.
Okay, but what about your friend?
You know, I've tried to think back and I cannot remember. It seems like her said she was going to have 2 kids as well, but I can't remember what the sexes were, but she has two daughters as well.
It's so funny.
So really weird. But yeah, I remember we got just like a wood pencil, just a pencil, and we tied the string around it and just a random ring. It says, use your wedding ring or whatever. We tied a ring around the bottom of it and we held it, and it wasn't over the belly. We did it over the arm, like someone said to. And it would swing back and forth, and then it kind of stop, and then it'd start swinging again.
So that's 2 kids.
And then it would stop, and then it would stop. That was it.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway.
I feel like that's kind of like the lifelines. You're like, you're going to have a house on the shore in a mansion with 5 kids, and you're going to live to be a long time. And I'm like, you can get that from my hand?
Right.
False.
Of course, when I was in middle school, I was like, well, that's a bunch of crap. I'm not just having 2 kids, and both the same sex. I need a boy and a girl, And then here I am.
Let me go back to the pendulum test that I did this in. That is pretty dang funny, though. I've seen different variations of this. I didn't even delve into it because I'm like, okay, but I've seen the one with the ring over the belly, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're all so weird. So hand display. Okay, show me your hands, Sarah. Show me your hands. How are you gonna? Okay, palms were up. So if you have a baby, it'll be a girl.
Gross.
So if you present your hands, palms up, it's a girl. Oh, this means you're not going to stop. I'm not having any children. Is that what that means?
That's me.
Okay. So you got the right answer.
I got the right answer with my palms. So it's like this way's girl, that way's boy.
Yeah.
So it's just a vague open, show me your hands.
Yeah, that's it. You were like, stop.
These are so fun. You got to read the garlic test. What is this one?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You can predict a baby's sex by eating garlic. If the smell seeps out of your pores, the wives' tale says you're having a boy. If there's no scent, it's a girl. While I say if it's seeping out of your pores, you eat too much dang garlic. And you need a Tic Tac. Oh my gosh. The key test. There's so many.
I know.
How you pick up your keys. Okay. So if you pick up your key by the round end, then you're having a boy. If you pick it up by the long end, that goes into the lock, then you're having a girl.
This is silly. These are so silly.
It is. But listen to this one too. This is funny. The number test. If your age and the year of conception are both even numbers or both odd numbers, a girl is on the way. If there's one even and the other is odd, then it indicates a boy. Well, by this test, it stands to reason I had 2 girls.
If your age and your year of conception are both either odd or both even, if they match. This is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was 26. Your conception would have been 2000.
Oh.
Girl. And the next one, I was 31, and your conception would have been 2005. Girl. I'm telling y'all, the number test, the pendulum test, that's where it's at.
Tried and true, proven by Delana herself.
That's right. That's my test. Okay. And of course, if you are, okay. So, gender prediction. Child tends to be the same sex as the parent who is less stressed at the time of conception.
At the time of conception?
I think we'll just avoid that conversation. There may not have been much stress in that moment.
I was going to say, this makes no sense. You're doing one thing in that moment at conception. I
don't think that's quite what it meant, but we'll just leave that one alone.
By that logic, everybody should be male.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is a fun one.
It is. So I needed something lighthearted after the other one. Mm-hmm. All right. A lot of these, these are not the gender prediction or whatever, but some of them are very true. And so delivery and breastfeeding. We're going to get back to real life now. Mm-hmm. Everyone poops during delivery. Well,
not everyone.
Not everybody. Okay, look.
But a lot.
Most people do. And we're not going to tell you about it. And we're going to throw it away real quick. And it's not a big deal because, come on, y'all. You're shoving a baby out. It's pushing other things out, too. So I think people stress about this. I've had people try to give themselves, clean themselves out beforehand. And I'm like, nobody cares.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. They don't care.
Exactly.
All right, here's the inducing labor ones. Sexual intercourse can kickstart labor.
True.
There are some places that say false on this one, but no, it's true. Scientifically,
it's definitely true.
Yeah, scientifically, the prostaglandins that are in there will help ripen the cervix. So
which prostaglandins is what we use to ripen the cervix. If we're doing it medically,
yep,
you're just doing the same thing
naturally.
Yes,
yeah,
not in the hospital.
This is off topic. Well, not really off topic, but your spicy foods and your castor oil, people still try that. I get the spicy foods, but the castor oil,
you're just making yourself miserable.
You're making yourself miserable, yeah. And then there's a good chance your baby's gonna have meconium in utero as well. So, and just because it just makes everybody poop everywhere.
Everybody's stressed.
Yes, yeah.
It's not a good feeling for you, Mama.
One. No.
I've had patients and friends that tried to do that, and they had the worst, probably 12 hours of their life.
Gosh, please don't.
And it didn't put them into labor.
Don't. No. It happened for my aunt. She did it, and it put her into labor, but I think that was just all the gastric motility going on.
Yeah.
That squatting over the toilet all for 12 hours really brings that baby down.
You don't want it.
You don't want it.
You don't want it.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze on that one.
No. Just go have sex.
Yes. Lots of it's fine. Skin-to-skin contact, does it help with breastfeeding after delivery?
Yeah.
It's like we talked about that one before.
I think we have. It sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar. Yes, placing baby skin to skin with just a diaper, just right on you, will help with those hormones. Oxytocin. So
many benefits.
Yes. Breastfeeding's easy.
False advertising.
Yes. Okay, there are some situations that are yes, it's natural. Yes, it's natural. It's so easy. It's going to come naturally. Not for everybody, fam.
I was just to say, if you're lucky enough that that's happened,
yes,
just say thank you, Lord.
Yes.
And know that everybody doesn't have that experience.
Yes, maybe 8 out of 10 are not so lucky. Like maybe 2 out of 10 are like the natural baby gets on, baby's latching. It's not painful, but usually I'd say a good 8 out of 10 come out with blistered nipples and pain and just overall anxiety because baby won't latch. So it's look that up because it is not easy. Not for everybody. Can you get pregnant while breastfeeding?
Yeah. You can.
I've heard OBs tell some people that that's good birth control.
No.
And I'm like, I feel like you're just vetting them for another baby in the future.
That's right.
You're just trying to get another baby out of them because you're lying.
I mean, it can help delay your periods. But the thing is, you don't know exactly when you're going to ovulate.
Yes.
And you will ovulate before you have a period. So you won't know when that's happening.
Yes.
And before you know it, you're pregnant again.
Yes, so when your first postpartum period comes back, you don't know, you may not know when that's going to happen, but you're definitely not going to know when you're ovulating prior to that. And that's when it happens.
Or in that case, if you got pregnant when you were ovulating that first time, you may not have a period, and you may be several months along in your pregnancy before you even realize it.
Yep.
Because you didn't have a period. So don't rely on that.
Don't rely on that at all, please. Yep. If that's happened, that's how Irish twins happen, right? Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Yep. I've had some recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back to backs. Mm-hmm. Oopsie. Didn't know that was going to happen. I thought I was good.
Yep, exactly.
Nope.
Don't believe it.
This one I thought was funny. Exercise will make your milk sour.
I have read that.
And I feel like, no, okay, I get the logistic as far as like you exercise and you get the lactic acid buildup, which may be excreted into your milk, but it's not much.
Right.
And I feel like now we're just using this as an excuse to like not get into our, like not to lose the baby weight. Can't exercise, baby won't like my milk. Whoopsie. Don't get me wrong, I'd probably use it too, but it's not true. Exercise is not going to make your milk soured. Okay, anything else on delivery and breastfeeding?
I don't think so.
I think most of them are like prior to delivery
Yes.
and things like that. There was one I saw, it's like moon's phases, like a full moon will put you into labor. And I did see that that's quote unquote false, but
I call bull crap.
I'd call BS on this one too.
You know, along with that, I did read, because I was like, there has to be more to this, because as nurses, we don't believe that. We've seen the statistics. We've seen the numbers.
I mean, how would it not? It affects the tides.
Yeah.
It affects your brain.
Well, there is a piece that says barometric pressure can put you into labor with, you know, like if there's storms, which we do see that too. If there's a lot of rain, storms, we'll see a big influx of deliveries, patients coming into the OBED. So then I looked up, you know, yes, the full moon does affect the barometric pressure. Not a huge amount, but it does a little bit. And I'm telling you, I think that little bit is enough to do.
Pause. Can we pause?
Is just enough to put these mamas into labor. Okay, so this one says, it's talking about drinking beer or cow milk or really anything to help produce
milk.
mom's milk.
Yeah.
And so it says, while polysaccharide in the barley used to make beer can stimulate the prolactin, which is a hormone that contributes to milk production, the actual alcohol may have the opposite effect on your supply. So
this is interesting to me because I know several people who have told me, now I don't recommend this because, you know, I have to say that I don't recommend this, and always consult your pediatrician or, you know, American Academy of Pediatrics, talk to your pediatrician prior. But a lot of people have told me if they have a beer before bed, like a dark beer before bed, then it will help increase their supply. And I'm like, well, is it maybe because you're relaxed a little bit more? Your body's like, your stress hormones aren't inhibiting your production. Like, how does this work? Right. So I'm sure and this is interesting, the polysaccharides in the barley can stimulate prolactin. But it's interesting because I'm like, I feel like of the weird researchy things, this should be one of them. So, but I get ethically why it cannot be researched. So, yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yep. So, and then, okay, there we are. Can't get pregnant while you're breastfeeding.
There it is.
Okay, so again, here's more alcohol research. It says very little alcohol makes its way into breast milk, so an occasional drink or two is okay. Which, back when I had my kids, it was like nothing. No. I was really surprised a few years ago to see that, mamas can have a glass of wine and still breastfeed.
Yeah, they have those test strips, and then I feel like they're pretty useless because if you have like one drink and then try to test it, really nothing really. That's not going to cross into the baby's, into your milk supply as much. So you didn't read the first part of this. It says, pop that cork.
Pop it. It says, popular rule of thumb, if you're safe to drive, then you're probably safe to breastfeed or pump. So
one of our OBs told one of our night shift nurses, not our OB, excuse me, one of our night shift nurses was talking to their OB, and because they were asking about having a drink, and he was like, yeah, if you can find your baby, you can feed your baby. You're good. You don't really wait. I was like, oh, that's right to the extreme, but okay.
Right. Yeah. So this says, you have to keep in mind that drinking makes some people really sleepy. Some people are lightweights. Falling asleep with your baby in an unsafe position or place while nursing or co-sleeping is the bigger danger than the alcohol is to your milk supply.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Then there's other things like, I guess when we're trying to get babies to take a passy, if you put honey on a pacifier, it'll help them. Don't do that.
Honey.
No honey. Not at least for the first year or until your pediatrician tells you otherwise. This can put your kid at risk for botulism. So no, don't do that. Oh, wearing shoes will help your baby walk sooner.
I think that's a big old negative.
It's a big old false. Now, it does say when they start walking, it is good for them to wear shoes. But honestly, it's better to remain barefoot so that they can learn, their muscles and their feet and their ankles and legs can grow and learn. But I have heard that one. This was another one that we found the other day. Cats can steal the air from a baby's mouth.
I have heard that my whole life. Yeah. Come on.
And I get it because it's again, back in the 1600s, 1700s, whatever, all the superstitions, cats were related to witchcraft and evil and that kind of stuff. So I get it. I get where that came from, but it's just, no, it's not a Dementor. It's fine.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Kitties are just fine.
How about the thumb sucking one?
Causes buck teeth.
Thumb sucking can cause buck teeth.
Oh, well, my child would have major buck teeth if that were the case.
I don't think I was a thumb sucker, but I had terrible teeth. I think that's just a genetic thing. But I get where it can come from. But no, anytime before 4. I've read that anytime.
And those are baby teeth anyway. They're going to lose those.
So, and it said, thumb sucking begins before baby is even born, which is true. They will do that in utero, which is why their hands are always by their face on the sonograms. But, yeah, if up to age 4, before the actual teeth come in, the adult teeth come in, and then the jaws forming and things like that, anything before that is fine, but age 4 and up, it should be discouraged so that the body can grow normally. So I'm like, okay, that may make sense.
I think we're discouraging it at that time anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. We're in school, stop doing that.
Right.
Oh.
Exactly.
You shouldn't wash a newborn's hair.
Why is that?
I don't know why.
Oh.
Can they catch a chill? I can see how that, like people say when you go outside with wet hair, they can catch a chill. Like, again, not
If
true.
y'all knew some of the baby hair that we see.
Yeah, no. I wrote on my paper, guys, gross. Yes, please wash the hair.
I mean, can we at least get the blood clots
Yes,
out of it?
let's do that. So, and it did say this is false because if you don't wash the hair, then it can result in a buildup of tissue and cells, which can contribute to cradle caps. So.
Yes, which is a whole nother ordeal.
A whole other ordeal. So it's okay to wash their hair. It will dry.
Yeah.
And we can put hats back on. It's okay.
Oh, and some of the hairdos. Oh, my goodness.
That's
the
my favorite
babies
part.
with the best thick hair.
I know.
Oh, my
Love it.
God. I
Love
love
it.
it.
Love it. It's my favorite.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
All right. I'll let you get the last one.
Cuddling your newborn will spoil them. No.
No, that's false.
False. Soothing your baby can promote growth and development.
Okay, first
Cuddle
of all,
those babies.
Cuddle those babies. First of all, if you've got a crying newborn, it's because they spent like their entire 9 months, 8 months in a womb in a hot tub. They just want to be held. Mm-hmm. So, it's hard for them transitioning. Mm-hmm. So, but it won't spoil them. No. They need it. Don't just let them cry and be alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that wraps it up.
That's the best part anyway.
I know. Like, okay, bring it to me. I'll cuddle it for you.
I'll take the cuddle.
I'll spoil it.
Can that be my full-time job?
I can. I do wish I got to cuddle more in my day-to-day job. I'm like,
yeah.
It's
not as much as people think it is.
I know.
But yeah, we do get to enjoy that some.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Again, feel free to drop us any weird things or fun facts or wives' tales, whatever. We like that stuff. So just let us know.
Go cuddle your babies.
And go cuddle your baby. And don't give them honey.
Yes.
Okay,
no
bye.
Honey. Bye. Thank you for listening today. The Rattled Nurses podcast is not intended to provide medical advice. It is not endorsed by our employer, and we are not speaking on behalf of our employer. Our commentary and stories are our own.
Also, on a serious note, we want you to know that if you are feeling blue or depressed, it is okay. You're not alone, and there is always someone to reach out to. You can call the National Maternal Mental Health Hotline at 1-833-TLC-MAMA, or text the crisis line, text HOME, HOME, to 741-741. Remember, you're doing a great job. Now go warm up your coffee.